If you're just joining us, you're watching Full Day, your late night show on Signature TV. My guest tonight, actually my first guest tonight, is Ikenna Onaga, National Coordinator of Transformational Leaders Movement. And one of the reasons why Ikenna is here tonight is because his movement is bringing youth together on the 26th of April 2025 at the International Conference Center in Enugu to talk about how to raise the total leader. You're welcome, Ikenna, once again.
Thank you. Nice being here.
Yeah. It's so easy to say, let's raise the total leader. What will be your prescription? How this very difficult task can be carried out?
Okay, thank you once again. Nice being in the studio today. Raising the total leader, the concept behind there is that we came up with the idea there are 4 cardinal things that makes a leader. There are 4 cardinal things that makes a leader. Number 1 is your intellectual capability. Number 2 is your financial state of a leader. Number 3 is your spiritual state, and the last is the emotional state. And that's the 4 major things we are going to tackle in this year's summit by gathering hundreds of youth all over the Federation in Enugu here. So today we are going to be talking about some of the aspects how we intend doing that, or how we've been doing it, because this is actually our 4th edition, right? Number 1, we believe in mentorship. Every leader is a product of mentorship. If you tell me you are a leader and I say, who is your mentor? You say, I don't have a mentor, I'm afraid of you. Because you must have a root where we are coming from. So this youth is actually a school. It's just a leadership school we are building, but we're just starting from the scratch and all that. So we believe in mentorship. We are gathering these youth. We've been doing this for years now. We don't just gather them for one day and leave them. We engage them after the conference. We train them, we pass through all kinds of mentorship. We pass them through those that, because when we talk about leadership, we're not just talking about political leadership. That's not our only concern. We're talking about business leadership. We're talking about family leadership. We're talking about financial leadership. We're talking about entertainment leadership. We're talking about a holistic view to leadership. So we have a mentorship school where we keep these people. We have people that have been, because we found out that any road you want to pass through in life, somebody has been there. For instance, you've had that journey on the newscasting and NBC, everything that has to do with, you have that. So if somebody has similar passion, all we need to do is just to bring the person under your mentorship, and the person will run faster. When you want to go through political leadership, all we need to do is to bring someone that is under there. So number 1 thing I will talk about for now is about mentorship. We intend having a mentorship school where we'll train all these people. Thank you.
Okay, Ikenna. What are the challenges? Of course, Agonsi Uche Kuntash is joining me later to talk about, in detail, about what we're expecting to see on Saturday during the conference. But tell me, what are the challenges you and your colleagues have had in trying, to empower youths, in trying to train them or bring them under mentorship? What are the challenges you have faced in doing that? Okay,
we have numerous challenges in doing this movement for the past 4 years now. One of them is apathy, youth apathy, in the sense that our youths, they don't feel like what interests us is not what interests them. You need to make them see reason why they have to get involved in what you are doing. They don't have that passion to lead. And youth of today want it now. But we are talking about mentorship. It takes a while for you to get to the position where you are now. You didn't just wake up and just saw yourself here. You went through a process, and today you are where you are now. So first of all, the youth of today, they don't have that passion to go through that mentorship. Number 2, it goes with, for instance, when you call them this particular summit you are arranging, they will be like, I hope people will share money when we come there and all that. You tell them they are coming to give them what is it, they don't want to hear that one. So part of our constraint is finances, because it will interest you to know that this thing is self-sponsored. We are sponsoring it ourselves, nobody. I'm glad to say it's on a lap. Nobody sponsors what we are doing apart from people that have come to say, okay, we'll support with this, we'll support, but this thing is our brainchild and responsibility. So part of the challenge we are having is funds. Because some of them, you finish mentoring them, you need to empower them financially to practice some of them.
Before we get there, let's talk about the apathy you talked about.
Okay.
When you're talking about apathy,
yeah,
it's like they're not believing in what you're saying. They'll say stuff like, after this training, what happens? They say stuff like, as they say in Igbo parlance, this your mentorship in other words, what is the financial value for it? Which I think is, besides looking for the money, is something that is psychological.
Yeah.
So how are you, giving them a new confidence, giving them a new understanding that, look, this journey is a long one. It's not 100 meters dash. It's like the 500 kilometer or long distance, where you have to take a step, take a second step until you get. How do you do that? Because I think it's a psychological thing, a mental thing.
Okay. Our major focus is value reorientation. For instance, we need to work on their psychology to tell them, look, like the popular adage goes, Rome was not built in a day. Transformation does not happen overnight. Ruin of a nation does not happen overnight. We are where we are today as a nation because of things that has happened in the past. And for us to see a transformed Nigeria, we have to pass through a process. It's not automatic. It's not like washing machine. You just carry your clothes and put it inside and press one button. The next second, your clothes is out. It doesn't work that way. So we're working on their psychology. We're telling them, see, guys, we are all youths. I'm also a youth. We are all youths, and this thing doesn't happen overnight. You have to pass through a process. But the generation we see ourselves now, they want it now. For instance, most of the challenge we are facing, they will come and tell us, they keep telling us we are the leaders of tomorrow, but we keep seeing the same old people being recycled over and over in the political sector, in the business sector. Somebody is a big man, he will carry the son, and the son will take over from there. That those of us that don't have where to fall on, what becomes of them? I tell them, see, those big men we are once poor. They built it from the scratch. So we are working on their psychology. It's called value reorientation. We've been talking to them about it. Of course, you don't expect everybody to respond to it. It is like a drug. It's not every patient they give drug in the hospital that ended up being well. Do you understand?
That responds in the same way.
Yes. You will give patient A this drug, give patient B the same drug. This one will heal faster than the other person. So we are seeing it. We are having, if we are not having results, we won't be doing this thing over the years. And we are seeing it. You see some of them, when they are given the opportunity to serve in any form of leadership, they stand out in whatever they do.
So from what you're saying, because I think I understand to a point what you're talking about the young people saying we serve their father and then we come and serve them. So doesn't it need the buy-in of the older generation? For instance, working hand in hand with you, the younger people, to ensure that there is equal opportunity for every youth. Do you have that kind of collaboration with the older people, maybe older leaders, older politicians, older entrepreneurs, who you invite to mentor these children, understanding that these young people need to have equal access to leadership opportunities?
Yes, we're already doing that already. Part of what we don't encourage is, when you come to our trainings, you don't come and teach us from slide. You tell us from experience what you've achieved. No, we don't entertain that.
So it's not all talk.
No, we don't come and tell the people at the media, yes, there will be slide. You can slide one, slide no. Tell us from experience what you've done. So we'll have other people coming to talk to the younger ones. That's the collaboration you're asking me of. We're already doing that already. We have younger people talking to the older people coming to talk to the younger people. And, beyond the talks now, I can finish telling you, okay, I'm here to train you politically, that when I'm done, I will give you equal playground so that we contest election and you win and all that. But deep inside of me, I'm already packaging my son to take over from there. So the value reorientation we're talking about is not just for the youth. Also, the older people also need to be reorientated, to tell them, see, listen, everybody needs to have equal playground. You don't just come and have a system whereby it must go in this particular direction so it can favor your interests.
Like a dynasty.
Yeah.
That's from father to son.
To son, to
and
grandson.
Someone is just standing there and just being a spectator.
That's the thing. So that's the system. That's what we are here to talk about. We said, no, see, everybody, it's time we start talking about competence. It's time we start talking about qualification. Are you qualified for the job? Not who do you know.
Okay.
Before we give you this thing. Because that's some of the challenges we are seeing in Nigeria of today. They will ask you, who do you know? Do you know so and so, Mr. XYZ? Do you know Mr. No. Let it be that, let all of us have, if you get it on the on merit. Down to the medical sector, down to it has eaten up everywhere. So we are working on it already. We're on it. We're having our bigger mentors.
One of the challenges that has been identified as a problem in the lives of the youths is something what you have talked about. They want it now. Yes. They want it like yesterday. A lot of things in our society is defined by wealth and the flaunting of wealth. Not just wealth, but flaunting it and making it look like it's so easy and that the only thing that matters in society is being rich. In your reorientation, does it also include reorienting the value system? You know, talking about what should matter to a young adult, not just about, and again, the journey, the process, instead of just the result or just the end point. How do you handle that aspect? Because that is what you hear from a lot of young people.
Yeah.
I mean, in the media, for instance, every young boy or girl who gets into the media, the next thing he wants to drive a flashy car, probably fly around Nigeria in private jets. The same thing happens in the media, in the film industry.
Yeah.
People are no longer interested in the values that Nollywood, for instance, should inculcate in those that watch it. What they're interested in is renting Lamborghinis, renting mansions, and flaunting it. And then these young people think that it is something you just wake up and it happens. And that's why we are hearing about all these ritual killings.
Yeah.
And young people putting their hands in a lot of things just to get rich quick.
Yeah.
How do you tackle that? Because it's a big problem with youths.
Well, like you already given answer to the question already by saying is value reorientation. Why?
Yes, I'm saying, how do you do that? What is the process in this thing you've done for 4 years? How do you attack that capsule of get rich quick, have money now, and all that?
Okay, we always tell them in all our summits, we tell them, see, any money you didn't suffer to get, you can manage. And that's why research has shown that most first generation big men, their children doesn't sustain the wealth of their father. Why? Because they don't know the history of the wealth. Most times it has been proven that those that maybe my father is a very poor man and somehow I managed to make it, it's possible that my children, I will teach them the principles that got it. Then my father has built an empire. Without anything, my children just come and I carry the whole thing and give to them. There is every chances they will squander that wealth. We tell them, see, these things are done gradually. These things are comes in phases. We don't encourage them. Okay, one of the things we do that we tell them, see, wealth is not measured by how much you have. Wealth is measured by how much you give. You are not a millionaire because you have 1 million in your account. You're a millionaire because you can give out 1 million in your account without being affected. That's what happens to you. So that quick wiki syndrome is something we've been working them on. And that's why skill acquisition, because that's some of the things we are going to come to. We teach them skill acquisition. If you come now and say, please give me 10,000 naira, I say, what do you need it for? I need to buy this, I need to buy that for personal consumption. I will tell you, instead of, for instance, one of them last year walked out to me and said, I need money. I'm struggling financially. I need money for that. I say, how much do you need? He said, I need 10,000 naira. I say, what, to feed your family? I said, I won't give you. Rather, I will give you 50,000 naira to go and acquire a skill that can feed you for life. Because it's better I teach you how to fish than to go to the pool, to the pond and get a fish and give you just eat for that. The next second, you're hungry again. So skill acquisition is one of the things. But these people, they are too impatient to learn a skill. They say, how can you, like the Igbo system where they call them one boy, how can a human being serve a fellow human being for 7 years? Yes sir, go and do this. Yes sir, go and do that. Yes sir. No, they don't want that. They want to carry the organ's money, take off and squander the money. Live a very but no. So part of the things we are doing is that we are teaching them career development. We are teaching them mentorship. We are teaching them skill acquisition. We are teaching them networking. You have to, any place you want to go to in life, all you need to do, partner with someone that have gone through that process. You make the journey shorter.
Collaboration.
Yes, collaboration.
Partnership.
Yeah, partnership. So I want to enter into the media world. I don't know anything about media. All I need to do is come and sit under your mentorship. All those things that took you years to learn, it's possible under 1 year. I will learn all of them. Why? Because I've come to understudy how this thing works. Instead of me going to Harvard where you went to study and travel around the whole world, I will just sit under your mentorship, sit under your tutelage just for a few months, just for a few years, and we'll all match up at the same level of intelligence.
How do you use those that are faith leaders, the churches, the mosques, the clerics? How do you use them in your program, especially the value reorientation? How do you have a partnership? Do you have a way you bring them into your conferences? You know, to be part of the of reorienting the young people? When I was starting my opening speech, one of the things I said that one of the things we tackle in our training is spiritual development. And you can't talk about spiritual development without bringing in religious leaders, and that's where they come in. I say that 4 things we tackle is intellectual development, is financial development, spiritual development, and emotional development. Because as a leader, you must have these 4 components working in your life. You can't say an effective leader, but you don't know how to relate with your fellow human beings, which is emotional development. Your emotional quotient must be very high. You can't say you're a leader and you don't know how to solve your financial problems. And you're sitting on, imagine a president of a nation begging for food. Say, I can't eat. It doesn't add up. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So you must know how to generate funds. Or maybe as a governor, they tell you we can't send federal allocation again. You must know how to use your IGR to sustain your state. That's part of the things we're teaching there. Then you talk about intellectual development, which has to do with intellectual capacity, and then spiritual development, because every leader must be spiritually sound. So we're partnering with them. And they are going to come in this year's summit again. You're going to see them there. Because you cannot transform a society without you, first of all, being transformed as a person. And that's where spiritual transformation comes in. Okay, time is never enough, but tell me, how did you make this decision that you want to spend a better part of your life, you know, training young people, mentoring them? Why did you reach that decision? Okay,
this is a passion that I'm willing to spend my all to see it. In fact, the dream is a new, the assignment I have is a new Nigeria is possible. Why? I am among the few Nigerians that still believe that there is still light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dark the nation looks like right now. I still believe that a new Nigeria is possible. I always tell people that, see, there is nothing wrong with us as a country. Every country is like a brand new vehicle, right? And a leader is like the driver. Sir, do you know that you can buy a brand new car and I don't know how to drive? You give me the key. Instead of matching brake, I'll go and hit throttle and I'll smash the car that same day. I say, this car is malfunctioning. That I'm trying to match brake and this. The same thing. If you give a leader that doesn't have that transformational agenda, they will not lead this thing. So what drove me to this thing is an experience I had as a young boy. My mom was a devoted teacher. And every day she leaves for school, they say school must open by 7 o'clock. And every time I come back from higher institution and say, Mommy, we need money for school. She says she doesn't have money. I say, why? He said they've not paid them salary. She's dedicated, she's doing her own job, but her principals, the people that she's working with, is not doing the other. I was there complaining, and you know, I have this thing in my heart and say, stop complaining, you can do something about that. Start a school that raises transform leaders so that when they have that opportunity, that money is not missing. There is money for that, but probably, who knows, I'm not in the system. Maybe someone is sitting on it, or maybe fixed it to generate whatever that is making them to owe. I don't know how the system works. But I said, instead of sitting down there to complain, because I found that a complaint doesn't solve problem. What solves problem is somebody taking an action.
Do something
Towards that problem you are complaining about. If you complain from Nancy to Omo, it won't solve it. And that's how we began this journey. We started as far back as 2010, but we started as a group and now formed a team 4 years ago. We've been running this since 2010, but at a low-key level. But we came out to the space. People got to know us 4 years ago, yeah.
Ikenna, I must thank you for coming, and joining me later is Agonsi Uche Kuntash, who is the chairman planning committee of your conference coming up on the 26th of April. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take a break, and when we return, Uche Kuntash, chairman planning committee, will be joining the conversation. Don't go away.